Now, voting is underway for 59 assembly constituencies spread in 9 districts of UP in the fourth phase of the polls that began at 7 this morning. The high decibel campaigning for this phase ended on Monday as sparring among political rivals intensified. The fourth phase of polling decides the fate of 624 candidates in 59 assembly segments spread across the districts of Pilibhit, Lakhimpur Kheri, Sitapur, Hardoi, Unnao, Lucknow, Raebareli, Banda and Fatehpur. Of the 59 seats, the BJP had won 51 in the 2017 assembly elections. 4 had gone to the Samajwadi Party and 3 to the BSP. Lakhimpur, which had hogged national news headlines after 8 people, including 4 farmers, were killed in violence on October 3rd, is polling in this phase. So let's go across to Alok, who joins us from Lakhimpur. And yes, Alok, I did make a mistake there. It's been 2 hours of polling underway now in this fourth phase. So tell us about, this issue of the farmer killing that had taken place. How big is it during the campaigning? How big is it among the people there in Lakhimpur?
I wish I could ask some of the people about it, but we are inside a polling station, so at the moment we are only covering what's happening. So I'll talk about 2 things. I'll talk about the larger issue of this entire incident on the Lakhimpur polling, and then also about the specifics of where I am, which is Ajay Mishra's polling booth, the junior home minister. But I'm going to step aside and let Rajesh give you some shots. I mean, I think one thing that is good to see is that, there are hundreds of people who are in these queues to cast their vote early in the morning. And this is unlike a few other phases that I have covered, where there is a steady trickle, more or less. But it's 9 a.m., 2 hours since the voting started, as you pointed out, and yet you have a situation where the lines are not ending. Lakhimpur is an important phase for the BJP because it has 8 seats of the Vidhan Sabha here in this district, and all 8, Gargi, are with the BJP. Now we come to the other issue, which perhaps is the more pressing issue, and that is why I am in Lakhimpur, which is the issue of Union Home Minister for State, Mr. Ajay Mishra, and his murder-accused son, Ashish Mishra. Now, this is something that has played out in the politics of Lakhimpur in the last 4 or 5 months. Last October, 3 kilometers from where I am right now, so I am in Banvirpur, which is the village of Ajay Mishra. 3 kilometers to this side is a place called Tikunia. In Tikunia, 4 farmers and a journalist were crushed under the SUV of, allegedly of Ashish Mishra, who was then charged with murder and sent to jail. Ashish Mishra is the son of Ajay Mishra, as I have spoken about. In the weeks leading up to the election, Ajay Mishra, the MOS home, who played a pivotal role for the BJP in its 2017 campaign here, was totally absent in the campaign. Then something slightly unexpected happened, which is that Ashish Mishra, the murder-accused son, did get bail. After he got bail, Ajay Mishra did start campaigning for the BJP, but this is just in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Before that, he was totally absent from the campaign. Now, he is a strong face of the BJP, one of its most influential leaders in UP, a Brahmin face for the BJP. His absence from the campaign, is it going to hurt the BJP? Are the events from October up to right now going to hurt the BJP? Is a question that needs to be asked. I'll take 30 more seconds of your time and also show you that this is his booth. Ideally, these bada netas, these big netas come to the poll, come and cast their vote early in the morning. For instance, Mayawati went in Lucknow and cast her vote. But here, 2 hours into the polling, Ajay Mishra has still not arrived. What actually seems to be happening is that despite us being given passes by the Election Commission to cover the election, a lot of the time, at least thrice it has happened in the last 2 hours, that the police and the administration has come and asked us to move 200 meters away from the polling booth. We have shown them our election cards, which we are also wearing, and you can see that. And we have told them, that we have these cards and we are not violating the secrecy of the ballot in any manner, and that we are covering this from a distance, something that we are allowed to. And each time they have gone and consulted their senior officers and come back to us and said, yes, it's fine. And then the same cycle repeats itself after 15-20 minutes. So that's also something that is interesting to see while we are at Banvirpur, waiting for Ajay Mishra to come and cast his vote.